Good morning, happy Tuesday, April 28th. This is our 27th day of distance learning in our 6th week. And I didn't show you the garden yesterday. I had some stuff that I wanted to get done and I filmed really late yesterday. So I didn't come out here, but I wanted to show you the garden today. I hope you're still watering your plants. You can see I thinned out the tomatoes a little bit, so there's just a few of them. And for some strange reason, a whole bunch of them popped up over here. I may have to thin those out. And you can see just how big the squash plants are getting. They're huge. Make sure that you are watering them every day, every other day, every day when it's really hot. I hope you enjoy your gardening. Okay, so here we are. We are going to practice our letter of the week, which is of course the letter X. One of our easier ones, but we still want to do quality work. We're going to start at the happy face and go diagonally all the way down to the bottom. Lift our pen, marker, pencil, crayon, whatever you're using, and go to the other side. We want this to be equal, not way out here, not way in here. We want it to be equal to where we left off, and go diagonal, cross in the middle, and try to keep these ends equal too. So we have diagonal all the way to the bottom, diagonal all the way to the bottom. And we're going to keep this up, even if my dogs are barking. Diagonal, diagonal. Remember, we want to make sure we don't make it too close, because then it gets hard to read when you have other letters next to it. This is not my favorite. Diagonal, diagonal. Make sure you're going all the way down to the bottom. None of that. Not my favorite. We want to do 8 good X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least I hope that's a good X. That looks like a good X. 7. Now you'll notice that sometimes I start on this side and then go to that side. And it's because I'm left-handed and I'm used to pulling letters toward my hand. Just like you do if you're right-handed, you pull the letters across your body. And so sometimes I do them backwards. I apologize. Now we were supposed to do 8 really good capital X's. I'm on a roll though. Let's see how many I fit in these 2 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12 capital X's. Let's do our lowercase x's. Remember, those start at the dotted line and go all the way down to the bottom line. So I'm going to start here, cross, cross. Try to get your X where it crosses somewhere in the middle, like around here. Cross, cross. We're going to keep going. Cross, cross. Try and make sure you're going all the way down to the bottom line. No floating letters. Letters are not balloons. Cross, cross, cross. Uh-oh. I started to do something here and then I made it worse here. Don't go above the dotted line. You want to keep your X short, your lowercase x, because you don't want someone to think you're putting a capital letter in the middle of a word when you start putting letters together to make words. Now, I put a lot of X's on here. I'm sure there's more than 8. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, there's more than 8. 9, 10. I got 10 lowercase x's and 10 capital X's. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to draw. On Tuesdays we get to draw pictures with our letters. Now I've already started, I put in, for those of you who are new to the show, I put a letter down and then I cover it in yellow something just so you can see the letter when I'm done coloring. You don't need to highlight your letter. I just do it just so you can see it. Alright, so I'm going to start with the capital X, and I was staring at it this morning. And I was also thinking of what my neighbors were doing last weekend. Last weekend, they decided that they would have some fun outside. So I've got some grass here, and I'm going to put the moon up because they were out doing this at night. Let me put some stars in the sky. Stars are kind of hard to draw. You may want to ask a big brother, big sister, mom, dad to put some stars in the sky for you. Okay, so I got my stars. Have you guys figured out what my X turned into yet? Well, I'm going to put a little doorway in here, and I'm going to, on the inside, put a little sleeping bag and a flashlight because they were outside camping. So let me add, let's see, I got my colored pencils today. I feel like colored pencils, we should change up what we draw with. All right, so they were out in the backyard being really good at socially distancing, and they set up a tent, and the letter X reminded me of the shape of the top of their tent. So, in honor of my neighbors, I made a tent out of the capital X. Now I'm going to color in the sleeping bag. There were 3 kids, because there's 3 kids in the family next door, all in their tent that night. Pretty cool. There's a pillow, there's the flashlight, and of course I need to color the moon. Now, I'm not going to do the entire picture black, even though it was nighttime outside. Well, I should probably do my stars yellow too. Remember, try not to scribble scrabble. Have control of your pencil or crayon or marker and try to make it go where you want it to go instead of everywhere. That takes a little more time and a little more practice if you want to do a good job versus scribble scrabble, and it's something I highly recommend. It's always nice to turn in your best work. So here's the back of the tent. We'll make the flashlight brown too. We'll just make it darker brown. And here's the front of the tent. We'll make that a little darker. I actually forget what the color of their tent was. I'll have to ask them. I can't go in their backyard, but they have a ladder by the fence. And their little girl pops over to say hello to me. And so I put a ladder by my fence so I can climb up my ladder and pop over the fence with my head and say hello to them. So I got to see them camping. Anyway, I hope you like my capital X picture, and I hope you can find something really good in your capital X. Now, here's my lowercase x, and for this one, I actually need a whole bunch of X's. Because I'm going to turn these X's, let me put down a ground on the bottom somewhere, and then I'm going to have Miss Mary sitting there, and she's looking up so you can see the back of her hair. Now, if that were truly Miss Mary's hair, those of you that know her know that she always adds some color to her hair. So I'm going to add some color to my hair. Right now, the color in my hair is not really there, and I'm kind of sad I miss it. Okay, so I'm going to have Miss Mary sitting there. Let's draw her t-shirt. She was wearing purple that night, I guess. This is another night scene. You'll see why in a second. And here's Miss Mary's blue jeans. And her legs are sticking out, and she's sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground. So let me put some grass on the ground really quick. Even though I'm quick, I'm not doing scribble scrabbles. I'm trying to keep it going where I want it to go. And then when I get done with the fast stuff, I can go back and put in the slower stuff that requires some patience. Okay, so I've done everything but the X's, and I saved that for last because I want to show you what I'm going to do with the X's. I think I'm going to grab some markers for this. I'm going to take a color and go and make little lines that come out of the X. Can you tell what this is yet? Maybe I need a better pink. This one's kind of dying on me. Ooh, that one's good. And I'll make a whole bunch of these lines. I hope you can figure it out. I just made fireworks. So Miss Mary is outside at night. I'm going to have to put a moon in there, aren't I? Let me stick a moon right here. The cool thing about drawing is you can add to it. You can cover up mistakes. No one needs to know you made a mistake because you're the one who drew it. This is going to be a multicolor firework. This is going to be blue and purple. And it's just little lines coming out of the middle of it. Let's make this one an orange firework. I kind of like the yellow in that one, so I think I'll keep the yellow too, and I'll make this a multicolor one. This one's going to be orange and yellow. And it's really easy to do. I just need to have lots of cool colors. And we're going to be using these colors later when we work on our math, so I'm going to keep them out. I think this one's going to be a 2-color green. I'm really liking the 2-color fireworks. I'm almost done. Just have a few more to go. Let's see, I'll make a peach firework just because I have a peach crayon. And all I'm doing is having lines, excuse me, having lines pop out of my X. And let's see, one last color. Let's make it a red one. I don't think I've done red yet. And here come my fireworks out of the top of that X. Okay, so Miss Mary is out in the backyard watching a really cool fireworks display with lots of X's, and her neighbors are outside camping. Moms, dads, write a big X on the paper and let the kids draw what they can, show you what they can do, and just show some creativity. Well, it's time for calendar, and of course, as usual, because we've been doing this for many days now, you should know the month. I'm going to go over the sounds again. A makes 2 sounds. It makes the sound A and A. P makes the P sound. R makes the sound. And when P and R come together, they make a sound that sounds like a cat. Purr, purr. I makes 2 sounds. It makes the I sound and the I sound. And L makes the ol sound. So all together, we have the A and the I for the vowels, since they have 2 sounds. We have A, per, I, ol. April. April. I know it sounds kind of funny when you say all the different sounds, but you're going to learn in kindergarten how to blend those sounds into words. So if you can't sound them out yet, don't worry. This is just a preview of what's coming really soon for my preppies, because you're getting ready for kinder. So it is April. What say we do the Days of the Week song? Days of the week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. Sometimes I snap and sometimes I clap, because you know from Preppy K when we were in class, if you couldn't snap yet, you could always clap. Don't forget to check out that song on YouTube and practice it, as well as the months of the year song. Now it's time for our pattern. Remember, we learned it's rainbow, umbrella, raindrop, rainbow, umbrella, raindrop, rainbow, umbrella, raindrop, rainbow, umbrella, raindrop. We can do this all day. We know it is those 3 over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. So what do you think the pattern's going to be today? We only have 2 on this week. We have umbrella and raindrop. So I could always go to somewhere else, like here, umbrella and raindrop, and figure out what the next one in the pattern is going to be. Or I could use my diagonals, because this time diagonals work. Remember, we have umbrellas, we have raindrops, and I'm sure by now you have been watching and you've figured out what the diagonal is or what the pattern is. You're right, it's rainbow. So super preppies, I want to hear lots of counting. Oh, I wish I could hear through here and hear you guys counting with me. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We're almost to the end of our month. In fact, I'm going to tell you there's only 2 more days in our month. So if you look at our calendar, there's still 2 more spots. I wonder what we're going to do with those spots. When we fill up and we stop here for April, what are we going to do here? Do we just leave them empty, or do we fill them up with something else? You'll have to wait and see. All right, so we've done that. Let's figure out what day of the week today is. I know today is the 28th because that's the last thing I put up there. I'm going to follow it all the way up to the top, and I see the T, and I don't see TH. TH is Thursday. The T by itself is Tuesday. Tuesday. So today is Tuesday. Let me put that in here, and let's find out what yesterday was. Well, if this is today, I have to go in front of it. So I'm going to look over here. Yesterday was the 27th. Let's see what day of the week it was. Go all the way up to the top. Oh, that's an easy one. That one starts with the M. Monday. So yesterday was Monday. Now tomorrow I don't have yet, so I'm going to put that in the blank spot, and I'm going to follow it straight up. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. Only one with a W in it. Pretty easy to remember. So we have today is Tuesday, yesterday was Monday, and tomorrow will be Wednesday. It's time for us to figure out what our weather is. Let's come over here to the front door and take a look outside. I'm seeing a pattern here, ladies and gentlemen. Every time we check out for the weather, we're getting the same thing. Let's come inside. Here are our choices. We have Miss Mary's favorite, which will probably not happen. Snowy, windy, partly cloudy, sunny, cloudy, and rainy. I'll give you just a moment to decide. Yeah, I know, we've said it before, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with a beautiful sunny day. I think today's going to be sunny. So we're going to leave that there for what our weather is, and that is the end of our calendar. All right, so our story today is Rusty's Train Ride. It's written by Heather Emery and drawn or illustrated by Stephen Cartwright. Now I'm going to tell you that on every single page there is this duck. You see him hiding up here in the engine of the train? You're going to want to look for him on every single page. Rusty's Train Ride. Do you see the duck? You have to look really close on this picture. He's in the cab of the engine next to the engineer, the stoker, the guy who takes care of the fire, and the dog. I think the dog is Rusty. This is Apple Tree Farm. This is Mrs. Boot, the farmer. She has 2 children called Poppy and Sam, and a dog called Rusty. They are, oh wait, did you find the duck? You did? Look by Mrs. Boot's boot. They are having breakfast. What are we doing today, says Sam. Let's go see the old steam train, said Mrs. Boot. Oh my goodness, that duck is still by her boot. Come on, Rusty, says Sam. They walk down the road to the station. Don't let Rusty go. Hold him tight, said Mrs. Boot. What do you think Rusty's going after in this picture? I see what he's going after. He's trying to pull his leash and get away from Sam so that he can go chase the rabbits. And if you look up in the tree, there's the duck. They wait on the platform. Mrs. Boot, Poppy, and Sam watch the train come in. Mrs. Hill and her puppy watch with them. Ah, this is a bigger picture, and we have to find the duck. The duck is not by all of the people. In fact, the duck isn't anywhere on the train station. The duck is on the train. Look at the end of the train. There's the duck hiding. The train is ready to go. Everyone talks to the train driver. The fireman shuts the door. He climbs on the train. Remember I called him a stoker? I started by saying he was a fireman, then I called him a stoker. He's both. His job is to make sure the fire stays hot on the engine. The fire heats the water, and the water turns the engine to make the train go. So the train is ready. Where's my puppy? Mop was with me on the platform, says Mrs. Hill. Now he's gone. The train starts to move. Oh no! Mrs. Hill's puppy is gone. He got loose. But Rusty didn't get loose. That's good. Do you see the duck on either one of these pictures? I'm telling you, the duck really likes the train. Here he is here on this picture. And in the same spot, here he is on the train in this picture. But where is the puppy? Rusty watches it go and pulls and runs away. Then he jumps through an open carriage window. There he goes. He's jumping onto the train. Come back, Rusty! Shouts Sam. Rusty looks out of the window. There he is, says Poppy. He's going for a train ride on his own. Oh, Rusty's on the train. Did you see the duck in both the pictures? Wow, that's one very fast duck. In this picture, he's on the back of the train as Rusty jumps on. But in this picture, he's not on the train. Do you see where he went? That's right. He got all the way to the roof of the train station. That's a quick duck. But where's the puppy? Stop! Stop the train! Shouts Sam. Mrs. Boot, Poppy, and Sam shout and wave, but the train puffs away down the track. What shall we do? Both dogs have gone, says Sam. We'll have to wait for the train to come back, says Mrs. Boot. Oh, well, I hope Rusty's on the train when they come back. Now, in the last page, we had the duck up here on the train station. Those aren't ducks. Those are blackbirds. So where's the duck hiding in this picture? That's right. The duck is in the window of the train station. And where is the duck now? I think the duck is in its favorite place in this picture. That's right. Right next to Mrs. Boot's boot. Let's see what happens when the train comes back. At last, the train comes back. Look, there's Rusty, says Sam. You naughty dog. Where have you been, says Poppy. The train stops at the station. The fireman climbs down from the engine. He opens the carriage door. He's going to open the door and let Rusty out. But before we turn the page, do you see the duck? I bet you're getting to be experts at it by now, because I see the duck next to Rusty on the train in this picture. And then I see that silly duck has moved from here all the way to the engine in this picture. I love hunting for the duck. All right, so they're going to open the door. Come on, Rusty. Your ride on the train is over, said Mrs. Boot. Rusty jumps down. What's he got, says Sam. It's my little mop. Mrs. Hill picks up her puppy. Poor little thing. Did you go on the train all by yourself? Silly puppy. Okay, it's time to go duck hunting. And if you look, you'll see the duck on both pages are right next to each other. 1, 2. He moved from the engine to the fence. I think we're on our last page. Let's see what happens. Rusty went with him, says Sam. That's why he jumped on the train, says Poppy. Clever Rusty, says Sam. So Rusty wanted to be there for Mop, so Mop wouldn't be all by himself. Mop is just a puppy. He might have been scared. But now it looks like everybody's happy and Rusty did a good job. I like this story because I like hunting for the duck. Oh, we didn't find the duck on this page. He's finally next to, he's in his favorite spot. Even though he's by the fireman's boot, he's by Mrs. Boot's boot too. I think that's the duck's favorite spot. Well, anyway, I like this story because I like hunting for the duck and I like a good train story. Well, it's math time because we just finished our really cool story and you can still see my X's on the paper. I'm going to have to really clean this later, but I'm going to practice my 8s. We only have today, tomorrow, and the next day to practice our 8s, and then we move on to our next number. So we're going to start at the happy face, go around to the halfway point, around to the bottom, around to the halfway point, around to the top. Wow, that's a pretty good 8. Around, around, make sure you go all the way to the bottom. That looks like a really good letter S. We'll have to remember that. Around, around, and back up to the top. Make sure that when you end it, it's right back where you started it. Around, 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 around. We want to make this 8 a properly fat guy. We can even turn him into a snowman if we tried. An 8 snowman. Around, 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 around. I'm going to go a little faster this time. Not too fast because we still want our 8s to have a good round shape to them. You can see that I'm starting, this was a really good one, but this one I'm starting to shift it a little bit and it's not perfect. It's pretty close. I'm happy with it. Let's see if I made 8 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to count my snowman. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness, I made some good 8s there. So the other thing we're going to do with 8s is Miss Doe has in our weekly happenings that we are to draw 8 8s in 8 different colors. Ooh, 8 different colors. Well, I'm not sure if she meant all together, one big 8, that's 8 different colors, or 8 separate ones. I might do both. So I got my colored pencil out. I got a nice blue one. I'm going to go over that blue one and I'm going to put purple. Well, it doesn't have to match perfectly. In fact, when it doesn't match perfectly, I can see the colors. Ooh, kind of went out on that one, but it still looks really neat. That's 3 colors. That's 4 colors. Let's get 5 in here. 5. Oh, don't be messy, Miss Mary. I started here and I ended up here. They didn't match. I'm going to do that one again and make sure that I match it. There we go. Here's another one. Oh my goodness, I have lost track of how many colors I've used. It's a good thing I kept my colored pencils here. I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not done yet. Let's get a nice green in there. 7. And I don't even know. Oh, orange. Oh, and 8. So I don't know if she wanted us to do 8 8s all together or 8 8s all separate. So guess what? Ooh, that was not a neat one. Miss Mary is going to do both. I'm going to do 8 separate 8s and 8 8s on top of each other. That is what's in your weekly happenings for math. That is our 8 8s, and I did it 2 ways. You can choose whichever way you'd like to do it. Well, today's Tuesday craft is going to be based on what's in the weekly happenings. Yesterday we made a really tough bug sewing project. I don't know if you tried it or not. It was a little difficult, but challenges once in a while are good. And it was supposed to be for the bumblebee. That's why I was able to do mine in yellow and black. Today it's butterfly review. You're reviewing everything there is about the butterfly. So I decided to make a cool butterfly craft. Now this is my finished project and it used my hands. So we're going to get started. Parents, in order to do this, you will need the following supplies. Either 4 colors of construction paper or white paper that your kids can decorate if you don't have construction paper, scissors, glue, and something to decorate with, markers or crayons. And that's about it. This is much more simpler than the bumblebee project. So the first thing they're going to do is you are going to, moms, dads, you are going to trace their hands, and I have 2 ways to cut this out, just so that there's no frustration. Some kids cut really well by now and can definitely cut out their hands. Some kids do not do so well cutting out right now. They still need some more practice. Now I'd say they still have to cut this out, but they can go like this. They can start here with the scissors and go up, and when they get to the top, and I would make them go to the top of the rim, not over here where it's a straight line. Make them practice the top of the rim. Then they can skip over here, go to the top, skip over here, go to the top, skip over here, and then follow the rest of the way down to here. This takes away some of the deep valleys that are really difficult for kids that haven't mastered cutting yet. Still gives them some practice where the thumb is because it's more wide open. You want to copy their hands 4 times. Try not to move the hands once you've started, or you're going to end up with something a little funky like this. Not my best tracing. Anyway, you're going to do this 4 times, and you're going to have the kids cut them out 4 times. Now remember, if you have a kid that really does like cutting and can use the baby bites that we teach them and do all the little valleys, I'd spread their hands out a little bit so that they don't have a valley as tight as this one. But if you have someone that can cut out the fingers, by all means, have them cut out the fingers. Each and every one. Super preppies, we're doing baby bites, baby bites, baby bites, and we're letting our left hand turn the paper and our right hand stay still doing the cutting. Okay, so they can either cut out the fingers like this on 4 hands, or they can cut out like this. Super preppies, if cutting is not your favorite thing to do, you still need to practice going around the fingertips, because that's going to make a really pretty butterfly wing, but also it's good practice in cutting. And I'm going to go across here. You can see that that was a little easier to cut. You still have to do around here where your thumb is, super preppies. You do need some practicing turning corners. Remember, the left hand does the turning and the right hand does the cutting. So once you have all 4 hands cut out, and I'm not going to do all 4 right now, you're going to want to place them in a way that they stack up like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I had to flip these 2 around, or you should have them do the other hand if you don't want to flip them around. So I did 4 like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I just flip the papers around, or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. Have them decorate. I would have them decorate the wings before you glue them. I did mine after I glued them, and it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. It was difficult with the markers. So definitely have them draw. But the thing you want to do is you want to line them up before they draw so that you can take a pencil and sketch out where the butterfly body goes. It goes on all the thumbs, but because the thumbs are stacked up like this, you're going to need to draw the body and make sure that they color that part brown or black, or somehow show that that's a separate body than the wings. And then they can just have fun decorating the wings. When their wings are all decorated and they've got the center line for the body, put them all back together. I just glued them down, dot, dot, not a lot. Once you have them in their space. Now, I have pipe cleaners, and I've been using my pipe cleaners, but I figured maybe some of you don't. So today I would just say I cut out some strips of paper and I glued them onto the back, and I made my own antennas. Real quick, real easy butterfly art. I hope you enjoy it. And now for the last part of the day, which is the website. So I'm going to have my cameraman zero in on this list when he gets a chance, because he's getting lower with the camera. You can see we have 1 for every day. We skipped on the 15th day of homeschool. Excuse me. Because it was the day before spring break and I just didn't film. But there's some great ones up here. Happy Numbers came out in the weekly happenings, and you really should be checking up on that regularly. I know that you are doing Starfall and ABC Ya. I know you're getting stuff off YouTube regularly. I'm going to recommend that you check out the live cams on YouTube just for I'm bored. There's some really good ones over here as well. I really hoped you liked Eric Carley yesterday. And I'm going to put this one up here really big just so you guys can see. This one's called kidsbutterfly.org. And it has all kinds of both information about butterflies as well as art and activities to do. So kidsbutterfly.org. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a happy Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.